Hello and welcome to another CAD clip for Autocad 2007 3D. And in this lesson we're going to talk about the section plane tool. And just before I get to that, I just kind of want to show you what I've done in here just to kind of get us up to speed and give us a little something to work with. And all I've done here really is used my modeling tools using the box and the wedge and the cone and the cylinder, etc. Created some very basic shapes. And then I used my union to union all of these together, which then gives me my seam lines in between and around this edge. And then I took a small cylinder here and used subtract over here on the right to subtract that cylinder from there. Okay, no different than I could take another cube right now and add it in over there, and then maybe take these grips and do something with that. Maybe even, and when you use this stuff, move around, change your view, change your visual style. You can see I've got the jittering on because I've used my conceptual style, but definitely get used to going inside of here and changing your views all the time and grabbing these great grips and taking this, move it wherever. You just use the move command if you want. Maybe move that guy over to there, go back to a 3D view, okay, and then back to maybe a conceptual view. Okay, spin that around. Okay, maybe I will subtract that cube from the corner of that pyramid, so all I'll do is go subtract from here, enter this, enter, and it basically subtracts that. Okay, and then what I can do is I went and used my color faces tool to pick on here, and then pick on that face, hit enter, and then pick a color that I want to face on there. Okay, same I could do over here. Color faces off of my solid editing, pick on here, and then go pick my color and hit OK. So all I've got is some primitive shapes that I've used union and subtract with over here. Okay, and I've used my color faces over there. And now we'll talk about the I'll get my dashboard up, so I'm going to go to Tools, Palettes, and I'm going to go click on the dashboard, which is a palette over here, and I'm going to turn my auto hide, and we're going to focus a lot in this area over here. If I hover over here, it's the 3D Make control panel. Okay, and again, we can have this dashboard so that it rolls in and rolls out. Okay, there's a setting in Windows for the speed at which that will roll in and out in the registry. I'm going to click on in here, and what I'm going to do is show you here the section plane tool. Okay, click on section plane. There's the command. You could add that to another toolbar. It doesn't have to be here. It just so happens it's conveniently located here. Okay, now the first thing we should notice is that our dynamic UCS works with this tool amongst a lot of the other tools that we have. And watch what happens. All I want you to do when you practice here, I'm going to place a section plane. Because the dynamic UCS is turned on, what happens then is that I can use a face to create this. And this dynamic UCS is working with our section plane tool, but that dynamic UCS works with a lot of other things. When you see that face go dashed, you're using that beautiful dynamic UCS. So what I can do is I can go in and, for instance, hover over, this plane right here in the top of this slope surface. Okay, and it says select face or any point to locate the section line. So as I'm moving around, I can just click there. Now I've created a section plane. If I use shift middle mouse button, using that plane, I have created a section plane. If I hit escape, I can move out. Okay, and I use that surface. Okay, I'm going to go E for erase. I'm going to click on here and erase that. Okay, I'm going to try it again. This is a fun one. So section plane. Well, maybe I'm going to use this side as my surface, and it'll do a section plane there. Of course, as you would anticipate, going to our top view, I can hover over that and I can move and relocate that section plane. Okay, and then I can flip it using my flip key here to flip it from side to side of that section plane. Okay, the other thing I should note, hover over it, click on your section plane, right click. It says activate live sectioning. Okay, look at these context sensitive menus. Show cutaway geometry live section settings. Okay, clicking on here, check the settings, how that looks, the hatch pattern, the color, and all that stuff. Okay, right clicking, generate 2D 3D section of that section plane. Click on there. I'm going to generate a 2D section elevation. I'm going to create it and look at the end of my crosshairs. Here I go. It's asking me for an X and Y scale and rotation. It creates a block out of that. If I list it, it tells me it's a block reference and this is its name, which I can go in and rename that or do what I want. Okay. The main thing is that now I have a section based on that. Okay, if I hover over it, click on it, and delete it, my object comes back to my 3D view. Okay, go back to my section plane again. This time I'm going to turn my DUCS off. Now none of my faces are going to hover, so now I can maybe use F3 as an object snap and just click on there. Now I've created a section plane there. I can hover over it, click on it, right click, activate live section. There's that live section that I can shift middle mouse button, look around, and it disappears and comes back. Go back to my top view, hover over it, click on that. Okay, based on those points. Okay, can I rotate that? Yes, you can. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, what happens when you go to wireframe? You can see it a little better in wireframe. Pick on your edges, move them around. Pick on here, move this around. Right click, take the live sectioning off. Okay, you can have as many as you want inside of there. Back to my 3D view, you can see you can click on that. Okay, but maybe look at my conceptual view. Okay, there's that section plane. Now, maybe you just want to keep it real easy. Go to the top view. Click on here, delete that. Maybe you're in just good old-fashioned wireframe. Okay, go into here. On the right, on the control panel of the dashboard, section plane. And just click on here, turn your ortho on, pick a point, and you're done. That's it. Section plane from here to here. Done. Enter. From here to here. Enter. Enter. Draw a bunch in there. Okay, go back to your 3D view. There's your shift middle mouse button. Okay, you can see them. And then you can set your settings. Okay, live section settings inside of here, how you want them to work. Okay, once you chop that up, there's not a whole lot left with all those sections in there. Okay, so you can do them in 2D or you can do the section while you're in 3D. The nice thing is when you delete the section, the objects come back. Okay, and then these are all tools that we use to create the different geometries, what we're talking about here. We use a combination of any one and all of these tools, and the push, pull, and this. There's another one here called slice, which is very much like section. Okay, we'll get to that a little bit later, but don't get section's a little fancier and newer. Slice has been around for a little while. Section plane. Okay, let's read our command line, locate. So orthographic. Okay, hit F1, goes right into the help menu. Section plane command. Okay, start point, end point. Shows you a couple of tips. Section listing dialog, section settings dialog box, procedures, create a section, etc., etc. Beautiful. So now let's just try one more here. Section plane. And I'm going to turn my dynamic UCS on, and I'm going to use this pyramid face as my edge. Creates that. Okay. Shift middle mouse. You can see where that worked. The other thing is you can hover over this. You can move it. You can work your grips. Right click. generate 2D section or 3D section. Generate a 3D section. Oh, look, there's a flyout. Isn't that wonderful, this little button here? Okay. Include all objects. Section objects to include. Select the objects you want to include. Okay, so this is the source geometry. The destination. Insert as a new block. Replace an existing block, and then you can go and pick a block that's already there. Okay, export to a file. Straight out to a DWG file. Okay, more section settings. Layer, color, face hatching, background lines. Okay, all kinds of great information inside of there. Live section settings. Okay. And we can just cancel on that. Create my 3D section. Do you want to replace it? New block drawing, yes. I didn't give it a name. Now I've created that. Let's type in I for insert, and let's have a look at what we've got for blocks. We've got that one, we've got that one. It looked like that one actually did a W block and exported it right out to my C drive. Now again, I can take that section line and I can grip it, flip it the other way. Okay. And then I can take it and move that line within the object and maybe go back to the top view and move it this way. Okay. Always use your grips, flip it around, looking the other direction. And always using our dynamic UCS, and I should point out that F6 is our toggling of that on and off, which is quite nice. And I have to say I was a bit disappointed when F6 used to control our coordinates, but I think I'd rather have it use. So F6 on the keyboard is our dynamic UCS toggle. And let's just go back and have another look at this in 3D. If we click on that line, you'll also notice there's a little drop down, which is like a dynamic block here. If you click on that, you can see it says section plane, section boundary, or section volume. Okay. Section boundary shows you a little different clipping plane. It's just that it's what you want to view. Okay. Section boundary. Click on here. I want to see the section volume, which then has a 3D, shift middle mouse button, okay. 3D aspect where you can squeeze it down this way as well. Just insane how many settings we have on here. And back to section plane, okay. My conceptual view, spin that around with my objects where I just used my colored faces. Shift middle mouse. And then again, the nice thing is you erase it and everything comes back just the way you had it. So really that's it. It's not that complicated. We just go back and look at maybe a side view over here. We're always looking in 3D views. And same thing here. We can go in, do a section plane, you know, click from there to there, and then hover over that. And then we can flip it and we can right click and we can put in enable live section and then flip that back and forth. So you don't have to be in plan view, or you can be any view to create your sections. Sometimes it's easier if you're in wireframe. You might see it a little bit better. Click on here, erase it, go back, do another section plane, maybe horizontally through here, hit escape. Then maybe go to a 3D view. Oh, it's way the heck over there, eh? So let's go back to our top view. I guess it's just really deep. Move that back. Over to there, go to our 3D view. Click on here, right click. Enable that live section as you please. So they can be placed in plan, in elevation, in section, in a 3D view. All your settings, right click on it, have a look at the options, right click everything every time, wherever you get a chance to, and then use your grips as well to manage your section planes.